From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday, August 30th. Here's what you need to know today.
This is Brian Manzullo, craft beer writer for the Detroit Free Press. Boy, is the Michigan beer scene shaken up. Founders Brewing Company, which is Michigan's largest brewery with tap rooms in Grand Rapids and Detroit, is selling a 90% majority stake to Smajus San Miguel. The Spanish beer company previously purchased a 30% share in Founders just 5 years ago. Founders says this is a move that will beef up resources and allow it to weather any storms that come across the Michigan craft beer industry. That said, it still raises questions about whether Founders can preserve the quality of its beers, such as All Day IPA, Kentucky Breakfast Stout, and Canadian Breakfast Stout. You can read a full analysis of this deal on freep.com.
More than half of Michigan elementary school students are not reading proficiently. The latest round of standardized tests show that just 44.3% of them passed the reading portion of the test this year. That's an increase of less than 1% from last year. I'm John Wisely of the Detroit Free Press. Educators are quick to note that test scores aren't the only measure of student achievement, but they acknowledge they are important. Math scores are lower than reading scores. This year, 39% of kids passed the math portion of the test. Last year, that figure was about 37%. So what was the worst subject for Michigan students this year? Social studies. Just 23% of them passed that portion of the test.
Kathleen Galligan is a photographer for the Detroit Free Press. She tells us about an entire neighborhood of tiny homes in Detroit. Here's Kathleen with the story.
No one in Amanda Funk's family had ever owned a home. Nobody. Until Amanda was accepted into Cass Community Social Services' Tiny Homes Detroit neighborhood. She always thought the dream was just a dream. But the 25 tiny homes offer a path to homeownership for formerly homeless, formerly incarcerated, seniors, and young adults aging out of foster care. The residents pay $1 a square foot every month for homes ranging from 226 to 400 square feet, and in 7 years, they own it. And every home as unique as the person inside. Amanda says hers is perfect. All 336 square feet. The homes are already spoken for, but you can see them for yourself. The Tiny Homes Detroit Tour runs Labor Day weekend, and funds go towards building more tiny homes.
This is Brian McCullum, music writer with the Detroit Free Press. It's Labor Day weekend, which means two of Metro Detroit's signature events, the Jazz Festival and Arts Beats and Eats, are set to draw tens of thousands for 4 days of music. The Detroit Jazz Festival will mark its 40th anniversary with nearly 60 performances on 4 stages. It all starts Friday evening at Campus Martius downtown, where this year's artist-in-residence, bassist Stanley Clark, will revisit his 1978 album School Days. Clark will be featured throughout the weekend, including a Monday set at Hart Plaza, celebrating his 1991 score for the groundbreaking film Boys in the Hood. The Jazz Fest is loaded with music from Detroit and beyond, including sets by previous artists-in-residence such as Ron Carter, Terrence Blanchard, and Joshua Redman. Arts Beats and Eats, meanwhile, will take over downtown Royal Oak with music and entertainment on 9 stages, along with 40-plus food vendors and more than 130 fine arts booths. Local bands make up most of the bill, including some of Metro Detroit's top names, but the main stage will feature performances by national acts. They include old-school rockers like Foghat and Night Ranger, modern acts like Third Eye Blind and Philip Phillips, and an appearance by Motown's Four Tops. Both festivals will wrap up Monday night.
The start of the college football season in Michigan kicks off tonight in East Lansing. I'm Kirkland Crawford for the Free Press Sports Department, getting you ready for Michigan State's season opener. All of the green and white faithful will be focused on Spartan Stadium as Brian Lewerke and the Spartans host Tulsa. Mark D'Antonio is just 3 victories away from becoming MSU's winningest coach, and the experts have favored the Spartans to win big tonight. The questions about the Spartans' offense, which struggled last season, will get some answers. But there's no question about MSU's defense, which dominated at times a season ago. Tonight's game starts at 7 on Fox Sports 1.
If you're looking to check off a bucket list item this weekend, just look up. The northern lights are expected to be visible from Michigan's Upper Peninsula and from the northern parts of the Lower Peninsula late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. The northern lights, or aurora borealis, happen when solar winds collide with particles in Earth's atmosphere. The reaction can create a purple, green, blue, or yellow glow in the sky that's centered around Earth's poles. The best aurora viewing conditions are when it's totally dark and cloudless, and when no trees or hills are blocking your views of the horizon. You'll probably get the best views in the hours after midnight Saturday. In Michigan, recommended watch spots include anywhere along Lake Superior's southern shore or the Headlands International Dark Sky Park near Mackinac City. Happy sky watching, Michigan! For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Emma Keith.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. And sign up for the Daily Briefing newsletter. See you on Monday.